All right, all right. We are back at the Grit Won't Quit podcast studio in beautiful Belmont, New Jersey. And we have a special guest, JP, on today. How are you today?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
I'm very good. So you're a man of many trades.
Yes, I am.
A New York guy, now in Jersey, like myself. You're Queens. I was Long Island, but we both found Monmouth County.
Yep.
And it's a great place to live and, work and everything like that. So from what you've told me, from reading your online inquiry, you do a lot.
I do.
So you have a hustle that most young guys don't have.
I had no choice. I had no choice growing up, and you always want to make it, right? So you always try and figure out how you could do it, but also keep yourself safe, so you don't have to hit rock bottom completely. And that's how I always try to buffer myself, keep myself, like I was telling you, with the 9 to 5 to give.
So the 9 to 5 gives you that security.
It's my security.
Gives you the security
health
blanket.
benefits, the whole 9.
Yep. Again, now that you're a married man, you need health benefits.
I need the health benefits, correct. And it's never fun not having a paycheck come in.
No,
so when
it's
things
hard.
go bad, it's nice to have. So I always tailored my career path to something where I'd be able to have some type of time on the side to be able to have a second hustle or whatever it may be to bring in that extra.
Yep, that side hustle, 15 years ago wasn't really a thing. People kind of look negative on it now.
Yeah.
Today, it's.
I used to they used to say, you're going to do too much and you'll be, you call yourself a jack of all trades, but you're an expert at none, right?
Yep.
Is that what they say? And I found it depends on how you look at it and what you do.
Mm-hmm.
And I found that if you have a goal, it's not so much you're just running around to work to make $1. You're setting those goals so you can then complete and then maybe move on. At a young age, the whole running around, hustle and bustle, to that point does make some type of sense where you're running, but you have what are you running to, right? Mm-hmm. You're just running to run. So you're making extra money or whatever it is, but if you don't have a goal and there's no reason
and a plan
for it, you're probably just spending it and then you're just wasting your time and you're on that hamster wheel.
Yep.
So I learned that a little bit late in the stage.
So now you a disciplined?
Now it's a disciplined goal to get to where I want. So why am I doing this hustle?
All right, so why are you doing this hustle? This is a great conversation so far.
There you go. Right now, like I said, I've kind of slowed down. Now with the kid, the 1-year-old, I kind of set myself up in a way where it's not so much retire. Like I can't retire tomorrow, right?
Yep.
But I know in 20-something years I'm set.
Yep.
So the whole rush to the finish line has now slowed itself, and anything that I could do, I don't overexert myself either.
Good.
So I like to hold
work-life balance.
You need it, right? It used to be seven days a week, and
especially with a 1-year-old, you're needed at home.
I want to be home,
and you want to be home.
Yeah.
You want to spend time.
So sometimes it's not always it's not what it used to be, these days. But it's still there, right? I still like to make the connections and put people together and do what I can. And
I think the connections is a good part because you're always needed.
Correct.
Someone always needs you. And again, a lot of guys are good at their business, but they're not good at meeting new people or networking, where it sounds like that's where you can kind of come into some of these businesses and help them.
I take pride in help, right? The money comes next, right? And I explained to you how, how I structured myself to make the extra money. It's not a get rich quick scheme. It's like you said, providing value, and the money will come after you provide that value. So I always want to be the guy like, oh, Johnny made that connection. He introduced me to this guy, that guy. He helped me out. He saved me this amount of money. He helped me, make this amount of money. That's always what I want. I like to help, and then if the money comes after it, it's cool.
So now, what are some of the side hustles and some of the things that you're doing to help business owners or to help people in doing better at whatever it is?
So, I do green payments.
Shout out to Ben, my boy Ben.
Ross. I've been with them, and I got on board with them because I had a pizzeria.
Okay.
And I was very friendly. I did, yeah. 2017, I wound up selling. I had it for a few years. But
that's a tough business.
That was a rough business, and it's not my passion. The only reason I wound up starting to work in the pizzeria, I started off as an investor, and unfortunate, like we say, not everything's all in business, rainbows and cotton candy and butterflies, right? I caught my partner stealing. So I had no knowledge of the business, right? And I invested in it. I thought it was a great idea, but I'm not passionate about cooking. So I learned the hard way as well, stuff like that. You should have a passion for whatever you might be investing in.
Yeah, when you're investing in something, especially if you're not the hands-on day-to-day operator.
Correct. So you learn at a young age, right? So that was maybe 8 years ago or so, right? And younger gentleman myself. And, you took the dive, but I learned. So I had to jump in, and Ben and these guys helped me save on my credit card processing.
Okay.
So how did I learn that? I was letting people swipe for $1, $1.50, whatever it was. So then at the end of the month, and that's not these days where they pass the fee. We weren't doing that. So when I go to my bank account at the end of the month, and you go to look for your profits, and you see all your money missing, and it's like, oh well, you made this guy swipe for $2, so the banks took 90 cents, so you only made 10 cents.
Oh my God.
So you learn, and I'm like, how do you get through this? And again, another learning curve, and that's how I got in with Green Payments, because they were like, hey, this is how you could do it, this is how we'll save, we'd love to help you, and they wound up saving me like $300 or $400 a month in fees.
That's great.
And then I was like, hey, how do I do this for people that I know?
Yep.
And they signed me on as a sales representative,
Yep.
and I've kind of just been trying to help who I can when I run into them, right?
Yeah.
It's not an everyday thing for me, but if I can make the introduction, or I see a business that, is probably getting beat up and they don't realize, I always ask the questions, and I make that introduction, and I try and help save them money.
Yep, and they're good guys. They're right here in Little Silver. They're just good people. Like, I like to refer them for e-commerce websites that we build, because again, they do a nice thing, and they stand by their product. And if there's a problem,
The customer service is zero. Like, you can't even compare it to.
Yeah.
And I've tried to work like previously, before I started with them, with other companies out of curiosity, and it just never jived.
Yep.
The customer service with them is literally like, it's right there. It's at
Yep.
the fingertips. Like, any questions I need answered or whatever it was, and they're honest. If it doesn't seem like it's going to work for the business, they won't try and structure it where it looks like it makes sense, and maybe the customer's still breaking even. They'll come out and they'll tell you, hey, it doesn't make sense.
Work.
Like, listen, if you want to work with us, great. We'll switch everything. But, there's a chance that, that learning transition or whatever it may be, and, you're not saving any money, you're just getting us instead. Like, but we'll be more than happy to do it for you.
We'll be your guy.
We'll be your guy. But,
that's
if you don't want to
fair.
interrupt the business, and there is that maybe a hiccup of a learning curve or whatever, they always make it known. And it's like, yeah, but listen, we'll take on the account. We'd be happy to be there for you.
That's
And,
great.
they try and make it, and they do make it a lot easier than
Yeah.
a lot of these other companies. So
Exactly.
that's why I've been with them for, I think, like 5 or 6 years now.
That's cool. And then, what you have this recycling.
Yes, like we were talking about. I don't even remember how I got into it, to be honest with you. It was just something that seemed like it was a good side business with no overhead, and where you can make money.
Mhm.
I used to do the power washing too at one point, and that was the same thing, right? It was low overhead,
Yeah, you just
more profit,
yeah.
and so when I got into the recycling business, like I told you, the economy was great, and then things kind of got a little rocky. Things started to kind of even out and slow down, and I hit a complete wall. So it went from, you could probably do this full time. I'm making 3 times the amount as my 9 to 5. This is awesome.
Yep.
And then I was grateful I didn't just go and jump
Jump
dive
in.
in, because everything just halted. All the prices tanked and everything like that. But because, like I was telling you, I had so many relationships, and people saw all of the scrap metal I was doing, and I was borrowing dumpsters from dumpster companies. The idea of me being like an outside sales rep for these companies came to fruition, and that's kind of what I started to do.
So that's pretty cool, though. So, like, now you're working with scrap companies, dumpster companies,
Yeah.
and kind of putting them all together.
Correct. And
You need this removed. You need a dumpster. You
Yeah.
need a dumpster there. Get the dumpster out of there. Pull it.
contractors, same thing, and like I said, at one point I was doing the scrap metal all over the United States. I was in
That's
Baltimore, I was in
wild.
California, I was in, where else were we? Florida, I think I only did one. We did Maryland, we did Massachusetts. We were everywhere. And it was cool. It was for the Home Depots and stuff, so
Were you traveling or doing it all like from
all
your
relationship from the phone.
from your phone?
Everything from the cell phone. Look up scrap companies, look up their ratings, how they were,
Yep.
their response times, stuff like that. Then I would call them up. I'd give them my spiel of what I'm doing, and then we'd make a partnership. And I made some really good partners out in different states. It was
Yep.
pretty cool.
Do you still keep in touch with some of these?
Honestly, it's crazy the way it fell off so
Uh-huh.
quickly. I haven't, but I'm sure if I call them or email them,
Yeah.
they'd be like, "What the heck? Where
Yeah,
you
what
been?"
happened to you?
Because we did a lot of dumpsters in some of these states for
Yep.
these Home Depots, so it was a pretty cool thing.
And what so now with the dumpsters themselves now, what are you doing with helping people with that?
So it's basically just my relationships. Some of the dumpster companies, they'll do some type of a discount, depending, how much volume that I'm giving them through the customer. So a lot of the time it's, homeowner relationships, real estate agents that'll help out. Hey,
Yep.
Johnny's got a good relationship with this dumpster company. Why don't you check out? Maybe you could save a couple bucks. So kind of in that aspect, that's kind of what I'm doing. Contractors, I know a lot of those roofing guys, and
Roofing guys need them for every job.
correct,
Siding guys
correct,
need them.
correct. Tough competition, right? There's a lot of guys out there, but again, it also comes back to the response time. People could text me opposed to having to get on the phone and call. Give me the address right through a text, and I kind of set it up through there with these companies. So.
Now, do you get involved with the porta potties or any other things?
Not yet. I was asked. I almost wanted to get into it and buy them and start renting them out and stuff like that. But again, with the 9 to 5
Yeah.
alone.
I mean, the
tied up
porta
now.
potties. I think you do the same thing you do with the
Same
dumpsters.
thing.
Like, there's no reason you don't want to be cleaning those.
No, I'm not. I can't.
That just takes it to a whole
In the
nother
construction business, enough. We used to use them enough, right?
Yeah.
You don't even want to go into them as it is. So.
level. Oh,
But
yeah.
it's a hustle. It's cool, but again, it's nice that I get to help people too. I get a little bit of stress off their plate, and I give them customer service. That's really what everybody wants these days.
So being available, being connected to,
I'm on my phone constantly.
on the phone constantly. But again, I think it's to make a better customer experience with people.
And
And where did you learn that from? Because that, again, a guy that's younger that's not really a.
I guess where I grew up, to be
Yeah.
honest with you. My mom caught me selling fireworks when I was like 10 years old. So I always had my hand in something. It was
Yep.
either candy or chips or something. And I was a pretty diverse guy. So
Uh-huh.
I've gone to Catholic school. I went to 3 different high schools.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I've lived in like 2 or 3 different states at this point. So
Mhm.
I've always kept that relationship with different people and this and that. And I always, even when I was here in Monmouth County growing up, it was never stuck in one town.
Yeah.
I was in Freehold, Colts Neck, Manalapan, Marlboro, just jumping around all the time, try to be friendly with everybody. And relationships, I feel, are the biggest asset in business, especially.
I agree. I think that there's a lot of, I think in the world we live in right now, it's hard because you got, Amazon, and everybody wants to just do everything, with a couple of clicks, which is great. I mean, from a convenience standpoint. But again, you lose that human touch. You lose that person that if there's a problem or if you have a question or you want to know more and, to call.
And a lot of the time I use that with green payments too, right? Because we work with Clover and stuff like that. And I have some people that are like, well, why didn't I just go to Clover then? I'm like, you can, but you're also getting corporate America,
Yep.
in the middle of the day, and depends on who you get. It's not always the same guy. Whereas if you go through us and you work with me, you could text me anytime, and then we have our own tech support, and then we could take it to a next level, and we'll deal with Clover for you direct.
Yeah.
Certain things like that. You take away that corporate America headache where it's just
Yeah.
like you're a number.
Exactly.
Where with us, you have that relationship, and you can call me and say, John, I need you. Can you mind coming down? Maybe need some help. And then
Sure.
no problem. I'll get on the 1-800 number with green payments, and I'll help walk you through it or whatever. Not everybody has the patience, and it gets frustrating too. Tech is not easy. So
Tech is not easy, and it's getting harder by the day. It's almost like doing the oil in your car. Years ago, you could change your own oil. Now,
yeah, good luck.
good luck. You got to set it up. If there's an error code, you got to do this. I feel like it's the same thing in technology. Technology is the greatest thing and the biggest enemy at the
Absolutely.
same time because people don't understand it. They get frustrated. They don't know what to do. They want to go back to the old school way of swiping a credit card.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you can't go there. But it's just,
You got to keep up with the times as well. Keep up with the Joneses, they say.
Exactly. So it's a tough. But I think you need a person like yourself. That's that intermediary, the person that can kind of speak the language of both sides. You
Yeah.
can understand the contractor's language. You can understand the dumpster guy language. You can understand the Clover language. You can understand the retail store and kind of be that intermediary to say, to break it down and
Sure.
talk in the technical jargons of both people.
Yep. Yeah. It comes with experience, obviously, right? At some point, we're all dummies in what we do when we first
you
start.
got to learn it.
So you got to learn somehow, and a lot of it was learned through mistakes, and and like I said, you just try and build up your name and my reputation as to somebody that wants to help, and going back to even the credit card business, that it's a hairy business. There's a lot
Yeah.
of not good people in that business. So us in Green Payments, we try and pride ourselves in showing that we're the good side of it.
The hard part is
honest
most
side.
people don't understand it. The credit cards have come up with so many different rates. And
Absolutely.
who, this guy's got a bonus, a card with points, and this person doesn't, and this person is a good payer, this person's not. And again, if you own a retail store, you don't know who a good payer
you
is
don't
and
know,
who,
yeah. And
who
you
a
don't-
bad payer is. Someone comes in and says, I want a couple slices of pizza. How do you know what kind of card you get?
Yeah, exactly.
And then trying to read those statements, you need a
even
PhD.
me. I still need help. I still, and that's that's the great portion of us at Green Payments too.
Yeah.
We have that back office aspect where everybody's in an email thread and they break it down and they'll explain anything, and the response time is literally within minutes. Most of the time.
I mean, that's the best part, because I think it's just such a hard thing, and I think for years it's always just been like it's just the way it is.
Yeah, and a lot of people get distasteful too. It's a patience thing. So it's not an easy just 1, 2, 3 process either. Signing up, explaining, So a lot of the time, guys are just like, this is too much for me to I can't even.
Yeah, I don't want to change.
So if you have that lag of time where you don't have that information for some, business owners, you easily lose a sale.
Sure.
So, and I was that guy. I was one of. This is too much for me. I don't have the time. Like, as a business owner, you're busy.
Yeah.
Right now, everything's working good. It is what it is. Like,
Yeah.
I'll some people want to eat the $300 a month that they're getting hit with because of the convenience and the headache that it might cause, or inconvenience, I should say, of changing or whatever it may be. But
It's hard. I mean, you get it, because as a business owner, you got 100 things you're looking at, you're thinking about, you're like,
where do you find the time
yeah,
to make the switch and not get a disgruntled customer because the first swipe didn't work, and but we definitely minimize that hurt and that little gap period for sure.
that's great. That makes life easy.
It definitely
for
makes it
everybody.
easy for everybody. So we try and do our best, and it's like I said, personally as well, get that reputation out there.
I like it. I like the fact that you're like the guy.
Yeah.
You're the guy that everybody calls.
I try.
I need a guy. I know a guy.
I know somebody.
Yeah,
I know
a guy.
somebody.
So,
yeah.
I mean, where do you see this, how do you see this and taking it forward, like for the future? Again, taking out the 9 to 5, but you have a couple side hustles that you're working on. But it sounds like you're more of a connector than anything. Like, I could put you into Wingman, and the same people that need Green Payments also need Wingman. But where do you see yourself like going in the world to connect? And connecting?
I like real estate. Real estate's my thing. So this stuff now, it's fun or whatever it is. I do a lot of it to build up savings and stuff so I could purchase real estate.
So
I have a handful of real estate, and that's really where my goal is, to get to retirement as quick as I can.
Yep.
And just enjoy my quality of life with my family and continue to build. But yeah, that's kind of where I see myself, right? As long as I'll keep going and hustling, other things are going to come across the table.
Yep, sure.
And I'll keep pushing them around. I tried to do the marijuana thing for many years. It never came to fruition for me. It's very expensive.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of time, a lot of patience, which I didn't have at the time. I'm a quick goer. So if it doesn't click for me, I'm on to the next thing, and we figure it out. But the end goal is build up the real estate portfolio and kind of just take my retirement from the 9 to 5 and cruise off to the sunset.
I love it. If everybody had the same, that's a great goal.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love to see what you're doing. I'm glad that you came on today. So for people that are interested in connecting with you, what's the best way for them to connect? Is it on
social media is great, even through Green Payments itself.
And what's your
cell phone,
Instagram?
whatever it is. My Instagram is John Patrick Associates. That's a long name there.
That's why you moved down to the JP.
Yeah, Facebook is JP Alite, Alite. You guys could look me up, and then obviously, you're the guy, me. So if somebody needs anything, they go through you, and they come through me.
Perfect. That's great. I'm glad you came on today. Thanks for telling us your story. Thanks for the hustle.
I appreciate it very much.
I'm inspired by people that like to move fast and do a lot of things and not be scared.
Absolutely. I appreciate you having me
Awesome.
on. Thank
Thanks
you so
for
much.
coming on.
Yeah, man.